Hey, kia ora, Helen, Brahms here, coming live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling, shaken up Saturday. I have to tell you this. First of all, what did you do today that shook up your Saturday? Let us know in the comments below. Second of all was we were at Networking Riches today. We had day one. OMG, this was amazing. We had quite a few new people on today, and they had their Saturday shaken up a little bit, to say the least. Judging by the comments in the chat and everything else, they were just sort of like, what? So they definitely had their Saturdays shaken up a little bit. But the one that got me was we actually ended on time, just a couple of minutes late. But we ended the day, and there was somebody there who we got into the breakthrough zone at the end of the session. And I will tell you this, that breakthrough zone shook me up. It was so powerful. I can't tell you what happened in the breakthrough zone because that's sacred. But I will tell you this, it was a powerful, powerful breakthrough zone session. It's one of the most powerful ones we've had in a very long time. It was just, I can't describe it. It shook me up a lot. Yeah, it was just, all I can say is it was powerful. It shook me up. So that was my shake up of the day. I mean, I love breakthrough zones, but this would have to be one of the most powerful breakthrough zones that we have had we have some really, don't get me wrong, we get some really, really good breakthrough zones, but this one struck a huge chord with me that it shook me to my core. I was just like sitting there I couldn't take my eyes away from it. It brought up a lot of emotions for me. It was a very emotional impact on me as well. And that doesn't happen very often with these breakthroughs. I mean, I get excited about the person being in the chair and getting their chance to have something incredible happen in their lives, but to have it reflected back and to have somebody else's breakthrough zone have such a huge impact on me that it shook me to my core on all levels, emotional. It was wow. It really was. It was, yeah, I can't say enough about that one. It was so good that at the end of that, I was drained when I got off the thing. I had a couple of things I had to do. Had a chat with somebody on the thing. After I had a chat afterwards with somebody, and then I was like, I got to get out of here. And so, Zeph and I went for we had a mini escape. We hopped in the car and we went for a drive. And I know that there's thunderstorms and stuff that's supposed to be coming through the area and everything else. And I was sort of like, right now, I got to get out of here. I just had to get away. And so we hopped in the car and went for a mini drive and found ourselves at Dairy Queen and got an ice cream. Chocolate covered, of course. And I actually let Zeffie have her first taste of ice cream. It was hilarious. Like I put a bit on the end of my finger and I put it to her, and she would like sniff it and then back away from it and then come back and sniff it again. Then her tongue would come out and tentatively taste this little bit of ice cream. And I think it was the coldness of it that got her, and she sort of like shook her head. But she came back again and had another little taste, but she ended up eating the little bit that was on the end of my finger. But she was just so funny with it. She was just so careful and tentative, and it was hilarious. So I got down to the bottom of the cone, and I thought, she's never had cone before, but there's a little bit of ice cream on the cone. She wouldn't touch the little bit of the bottom of the cone that I gave her that had the ice cream on it, but she did the other bit, and she very gingerly, like she just had her teeth just gripping the edge of that piece of cone, and she takes it and puts it down on the thing, and looks like she looked like she started eating it. Well, when we got back here, I went to get her out of the back, and there's little bits of, and she had chomped it, but she hadn't eaten it. So she chomped it and spit it out. And there's these little kinds of, and it wasn't a very big piece I gave her, but it was sitting there in pieces on the back seat. So she's very not sure what to think of ice cream. And as far as the cone goes, yeah, that didn't ring too well with her. So I was like, yay, I get a cone to myself. But yeah, so that was our little mini escape. And we got here and I sat down and I thought, I'm going to sit and watch a movie. And I sat down in the recliner and I have Top Gun in the player because last night I was going to do a double feature of Dirty Dancing and then Top Gun. Got Dirty Dancing done. Then I checked and then I looked at the weather and we had like about 30 minutes before the rain started coming in and this big thunderstorm and everything. And I was like, I'm not going to get to watch Top Gun. And I had already switched them out in the player and everything. And I thought, no, Top Gun, sit and watch it the whole way through, but I can't do it now because we've got a thunderstorm coming through. And when it starts raining on the roof, it gets very, very loud in here that you can't hear anything unless you have the noise cancelling headphones on, and they work better that you can hear things through them during a thunderstorm. But I don't have them hooked up to my TV. So I was like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get my noise cancelling headphones to work off the TV. So I can sit in the chair because there's sometimes, like with Dirty Dancing, the sound on it was, it was coming off a DVD. Or was it Blu-ray? Can't remember if it was DVD or Blu-ray, but I had it going through the player and everything else. Now normally the volume on the TV, I have around 15 to 20. I was up to 60 to hear it. And even when the music was playing, it wasn't that loud. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then as it got further on in the movie, it started getting a little louder. And so I would turn it back down again. So I don't know what was going on with that last night, but by the end of the movie, we were down to 30. So that is really, like the last song was loud enough. I had to turn it from, I think I was on 55 or something. I had to turn it down to 30 for the closing number. So they actually pumped up the volume on it. But it was like, oh my gosh, this is horrendous. So this is where I would love to have the noise cancelling headphones. So I could, because these are very thin walls. And it doesn't take much to disturb your neighbor. Fortunately, the neighbor on this side it has hearing issues, but he can't hear. And plus, we have the carport between us and his living room area, and he's got this huge TV on his wall that he has the volume up, which I can't hear, which is great. And but I'm concerned that when come the winter season and stuff, having a neighbor on this side disturbing them, or disturbing others as they're walking around. And so I would love to get some sort of device that I can sit here, plug it into the TV. Although I'm not sure how I'm going to plug it into the TV because getting to the back of that thing is horrendous. There's so much you got to take off. You got to get the frame off the front of it first. Then this is RVLiving problems. Take the frame off the TV. Then you have to, what do we have to do next? Then we had to undo the screws that held that the TV is attached to, and it took two of us to do that because we had to both carry the weight of the TV. I don't know how one person can do this. Is not a one-person job, I tell you. And then you pull the TV down, and then what we did is that we plugged two HDMI cables into the back and thread them through the holes, one to each camera on each side, one to go to the Blu-ray player, one to go to the other side where I have the Fire Stick, the Amazon Fire Stick. And then we had to do all the reverse to get it all back in there. It was a job and a half to get that done. We didn't actually take my hands were small enough. I was able, once we got all of that out, that I was able to get in there and get the plug in. So, yeah, so it's going to be fun trying to get something in the back of that. Yeah. Not sure how it's going to work, but I'm keeping options open. But anyway, so, so of course with thunderstorms coming in, and then I went back to check the weather, and like I'd been like 15, 20 minutes, I think it was, and it now had a whole ring of thing going around, and I looked at the thing, and it was going to go for 115 minutes of severe thunderstorms. And I was like, I'm just going to go to bed. So I did, went to bed, read, fell asleep to the thunderstorm, woke up when it started raining. So fell asleep during a thunderstorm, and then when it was just gentle rainfall, I woke up. Craziest thing. And it was like, I don't even know what time it was. Turned over, went back to sleep, and then got woken up again by gentle rain again. So I actually got woken up twice last night by gentle rain. So the thunderstorms put me to sleep, and then the gentle rain woke me up, lulled me back to sleep, and then woke me up again later on when I was supposed to get up. So tonight, I was going to sit down and watch Top Gun this afternoon, and I sat down on the recliner and I said, like, I'm not going to last. I'm probably going to wake up in about an hour or so, and I'll be leaned over like this in the recliner with a big crick in my neck. My recliner doesn't recline unless the recliner is facing the back of the RV, and then I can stretch it out across the stairwell. So, yeah, and the TV's, of course, behind is at the front of the RV. So, yeah, real world problems. So, I went and took a nap. It was lovely. It was delicious. It was awesome. So that was our little mini escape. So, yeah, after all of, how the heck, that was a very rigmarole storytelling, that one. It's like, where am I going with all this? So we took a mini escape. We went, we got ice cream, we came back, we had naps, and yeah, that's basically. So after a very awesome networking riches today with a powerful breakthrough session, followed by a mini escape to go for a quick drive, get some ice cream, come back and take a nap. It's been a really, really awesome day, and I've already got dinner in the fridge ready to go. I don't need to cook anything. So I'm just in for a nice relaxing evening. I haven't even looked to see if we've got any rain in the forecast, although it is starting to get pretty cloudy outside, so we're going to have to take the DOG for WARK very quickly before the rain does come, because I know we're supposed to have more severe thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow, because we're under flash flood warnings. Actually, now we're down to watches until like 10 o'clock tomorrow or something, p.m. So, yeah, so that's just it. And then I'll tell your story question of the day. Tell your story question of the day. So how are you guys doing with your tell your story questions of the day? You keeping up with them, coming up with some goods? Are they inspiring you in any way? I'd love to get feedback on all of that. So the question this morning was, what is the most challenging or scariest thing you did growing up? What was the most challenging or scariest thing you did growing up? And if you watched this morning's one, which was rather late this morning because I had a very full morning before I had to get on Networking Riches, so I didn't get time to do my live until we had our lunch break. And so yeah, what was the most challenging or scariest thing you did growing up? And so you have to go back to part 1 to find out what it was that I did. I was a little older. Yeah, it's in my teens when all that stuff took place. So anyway, but that's it from us for today. Go have a super fantastic sparkling evening for your Shake It Up Saturday. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so I'm just checking my notes, make sure I got everything. So go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We will be back bright and early tomorrow morning. Hopefully I get my gag together tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is Serenity Sunday, so it's going to be a very interesting day because we've got day 2 of Networking Riches tomorrow, and then which is going to confuse the puppy because we're not going for our normally we come back from our morning walk, hop in the car and go for our drive, and that's not going to happen tomorrow morning. And she actually now goes and stands by the car. She did it Saturday last week, and I told her no, wrong day. She was not happy about having to get back in the RV at the time. And so she won't be doing it tomorrow morning either. And she'll probably go and stand next to the car as well. I hate it when I disrupt her. She gets in these routines. I actually love disrupting her routines because she thinks she has a routine in the morning about having, but then I go and mix it up and do stuff differently, and it totally throws her off track. She'll like look at me as I say, and she'll like, if we've got a routine before we go out. And so she knows at what point to get started. She knows at what point the harness is going to go on and all that. But sometimes I'll just mix up a little bit and grab the harness and throw it on her. And she's sort of like, what the heck? And she stands there and looks all around and sort of say, well, you don't even have your shoes on. You know, she'll look at my feet and look over where the shoes are kept and look back and sort of say, something's not right here. So I love playing with her that way. It keeps her on her toes and keeps her guessing. But she still hasn't fetched my shoes yet. Still working on that one. Anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I'm out of here. And we'll catch you guys back early tomorrow morning for Serenity Sunday. Hey, konera.